Sawadee Krap and welcome to another episode for a Funky Pod. And it's Monday, and you know what it means. It's, yes, slap fighting, power slap Monday. I'm just acting like the UFC account, or you follow the UFC on social media and then all you see is just slap, 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 power slap here. Ridiculous. I even blocked power slap on Instagram and I still see power slap content because the UFC just reposts it. I hate it so much. Okay, but hey, from a media professor's point of view, that's maybe why you're tuning in to hear more about power slap. What does a media prof think about power slap? Well, let me break it down. Well, the sport is obviously ridiculous. The sport. But the way the UFC is alienating the audience right now by shoving it down your throats, it's crazy. Like, just look at the comments on any platform the UFC runs. And every time they post anything about power slap, the first, 10, 20, 100 comments maybe are all negative. It's just hate. It's like, I don't want to see this. There are blue checkmark people, celebrities commenting, how do I block it? So maybe don't do it. Like, you have your power slap accounts, use those. Once or twice a cross promotion, I would understand, but to cross post every single post just to like shove it down the audience's throat is very, 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 very bad strategy, and it will cost you with the audience. The UFC has millions and millions of followers. They don't care if you lose 1 million or 2, I understand. Dana White's like, no, that's totally worth it. I get it. Still, you're gonna lose lots of engagement, lots of followers, and if you're the UFC, you offset it because I know you don't care, and you're like, hey, Prime is now our hydration sponsor, so Logan Paul is gonna bring in those followers again, or KSI. But just from a pure marketing / communication point of view, it's ridiculous, it's terrible. You should never shove something down the throat of the audience that they don't want. You have one account profile for them, for power slap. Don't hijack the UFC account for them and then make everyone hate you. It's not worth it usually. But hey, what do I know? I just study those things. Okay, but hey, let's talk about the UFC, of course, not only power slap. The finale of power slap just happened. Did you know? Of course you knew, because UFC was telling us all the time. Oh my God, I'm glad this is over. So UFC 286 happening this upcoming weekend. As always, I don't preview fights. I look at it from like a media point of view, like how the media uses it, how the fighters use the media, and so on. I do review one championship though, more on this at the end of this podcast. But hey, UFC 286, right? Who's fighting? Like, don't Google. Just if I ask you who's fighting next week, pay-per-view UFC 286. Who's on the card? Last pay-per-view was stacked, right? John Jones, Cyril Gane. We had like so many awesome fights. Who's fighting next weekend? If I tell you it's in the UK, you're like, oh yeah, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. Yes. You only know that because I said it's in the UK though, right? I think if it's in London, oh yeah, must be Leon Edwards. Who else is left from the English fighters, right? Yes, it's Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. Are they in the media? Is the media showing them? The only one who's surprisingly doing anything good in the media is Leon Edwards, who's not the best talker. But thanks to UFC's or BT Sports UFC account, they're doing great stuff with him. So thank you, BT Sports, because the UFC is not doing anything, which is ridiculous. Kamaru Usman completely disappeared from the face of the earth. Yes, maybe he's taking it serious. I understand. Maybe he's preparing hard. Maybe he's injured. Who knows? I understand all those things. But if you want to make a name for yourself, you want to make sure that people know your name after it's all said and done, you have to sell that fight. Chael Sonnen was just on Andrew Schulz last week and said the same thing. You have to sell a fight, otherwise no one cares. He was making a point about Valentina Shevchenko, that no one cares about her. Same thing right now. Kamaru Usman, with one of the longest winning streaks in UFC history, was in the discussion for the GOAT, being better than GSP at welterweight. And no one talks about him coming back to claim his title. What? Ridiculous. And that's the main event. Co-main event, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. On paper, that's awesome. Did you know that they're fighting? There's nothing out there. It's all just freaking slap fighting, power slapping. There's nothing Justin Gaethje's way back into the title picture. There's nothing of like Rafael Fiziev's climb into that set title picture. I'm a bit biased because Fiziev is training in Thailand a lot, so let's go, Rafael. Crazy story about him training in Phuket, by the way. You should check that or listen in or search about it. Like Rafael Fiziev training in Phuket, you will... Phuket, by the way, not fuck it, Phuket, Phuket. Lots of great gyms there. Number one gym by now, the new one, probably the Hickman Brothers gym that you probably know from some of the embeddeds where Volkanovski trains and Chang Wei Li and so on, called Bang Tao, MMA and Muay Thai. Old school ones, the older ones, a Phuket top team, for example, Tiger Muay Thai. And I think Rafael Fiziev used to train, if I'm not mistaken, at Phuket top team, but I'm not sure. So you'd search yourself and check it out. Crazy story that he didn't pay trainers or whatever, or accommodation fee, but then he said that's wrong. So a bit of a drama there. Very interesting. You could easily showcase that, but no, nothing. Nothing about Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev. The Fiziev called out Justin Gaethje. Nothing about that. What? Like, this call out's gonna cost you or something. Nothing. Especially those two, especially Fiziev and Gaethje, who have like brutal styles. They take damage, they give damage, they take damage. Like, guys, you're gonna have to make sure people gonna remember you after you're done. Who knows? Maybe this is your last fight. Who knows? The way they fight, every fight could be the last fight. Make the best of it. Why do I care more about your afterlife? your life post your UFC career than you do. It's crazy. Who else is fighting? We have King Casey O'Neill coming back. And luckily, she's a little bit more outspoken. She's like, hey, I'm coming back. Luckily, she's doing at least a little bit of social media there. Not too much, but she's there. She texted Ariel Helwani like, yo, Ariel, why don't you say my name when you talk about like the potential future champs? So good. Good on her. We have Jennifer Maia being back in the picture. Okay. If you're not a native English speaker, it's going to be tough at times, maybe, or if you don't speak English fluently. I don't know how fluent Jennifer Maia is, which is already a problem that we don't know. And yeah, so all like I said, like if I say UFC 286, you think about the main event, if at all, then the co-main event is a banger, but no one thinks about it. And then the rest, no one knows about it. Casey O'Neill, future superstar. Jennifer Maia should be a star already. No one knows about it. Like, again, blame the UFC for not highlighting that. They only highlight Conor McGregor, John Jones, and nobody else. Blame the UFC for that, yes, but also blame the fighters. Blame the management. Like, you need to do more. I am not a super mega hardcore fan. I couldn't tell you like who won at the 7th Pride event back then or something like this. I could not tell you that. However, I've been in MMA / martial arts for the past 10 years or so. So I've been in there for a long time. So I'm not only a casual, maybe I'm like somewhere in between. And I didn't know who else is on the card. I had to look like who is actually fighting besides those two, the main and the co-main event. Come on, how do I not know? How Daniel Rodriguez fight, for example, is cancelled. I mean, I understand that they just quietly, like, if something goes south, they're like, don't tell anyone. But if I would be the opponent, I don't even know who canceled. I just saw it on the card, it's canceled. Like, whoever is the opponent, I would say something. I would be like, hey, either I would be sympathetic that it happens, blah, blah, but I'm ready, or I would just lay into him like, what the hell, I'm ready, why aren't you ready? And so on and so on. Marvin Vettori is coming back. Nothing about Marvin Vettori, which is also surprising because he's in the same gym as Sean Strickland. So why is there no Marvin Vettori content? Probably on the Schmo Zone later or something. But then that's it. There needs to be more people. Why do you all, and now I gotta get demonetized, why do you all suck at that? If you need help, shout out, we're gonna help you. But come on, do better. UFC, do better. UFC fighters. Speaking of better, this Friday, and I say it very often, like I don't go through all the Friday fight cards, because so Friday fights is a new thing that One Championship is doing every Friday night, Bangkok time. They have fight nights in famous Lumpini Stadium, which is like the most famous Thai boxing stadium in Thailand. Like it's very famous when it comes to Muay Thai, okay? And so now they have the Friday fights every Friday. Usually it's not like big pay-per-views. They still have like one big pay-per-view every month or so. The next one is the week after, like March 26th or whatever that is. But now every Friday is awesome. You sit at home, you watch it live on YouTube. It's great. Usually I don't break them down because it's like not always like the most well-known fighters. This coming Friday, you have to watch it, like Friday night, Bangkok time. Check out whatever time that is with you, or then watch it later on YouTube. The main event is going to be insane. World Championship, Rachin Ursel from the Netherlands, but he's repping Suriname, I think, too. Versus Sinsamut Klinme, which is like who's the new Thai superstar, like up and coming, and this is going to be insane. I'm so looking forward to that. It's crazy. Sinsamut has been on a roll, like a few knockouts in a row. Rachin Ursel has been the dominant champion. He's very tall, very lanky for the weight class. Lots of like flying knees in between when he fights, which is cool. He's always marching forward. Sometimes he gives up like the first or the second round, but then usually he puts it on the opponent in the final rounds and usually gets it done there. Yeah, so that's it. I'm honestly excited. I might be more excited about that, but that's because I'm a Muay Thai fan. So maybe I'm a bit more excited about that than I am actually about like the Usman Edwards fight. Like this, Usman Edwards is going to be like, in my opinion, again, not necessarily previewing fights for the UFC, but it's going to be like a wrestle fuck by Usman, in my opinion. This one, it's of course it's a stand up fight, right? It's going to be a banger. Sinsamut, Rachin Ursel, going to be fantastic. We also have the comeback, or like, comeback after like a few months off, not too long off, of Sam Ah, who is like a former champion, like a legend in Muay Thai. This is going to be awesome. Like he wants to climb his way back to the throne, so he's gonna be there. Sam A, depends how you pronounce it, the triple A. Sam means 3, that's why the joke, I should have explained it before. So Sam in Thai, Pasat Thai language, Sam means 3, Nung Song, Sam. So Sam A means like triple A. He's triple A, Gayang Hadao. Not Sam A. Sam A. Check out Sam A. However you want to call it. It's going to be awesome. And the whole card is stacked this Friday. I don't know why. I'm very happy. Kulabdam is in the co-main event, if I'm not mistaken. Like, so Kulabdam, I should have the notes here. I apologize. But so the main event is Rachin Ursel versus Sinsamut Klinme. Co-main event is Kulabdam, and then the third fight from top is Sam A. So it's just awesome. It's stacked. It's crazy. They have a few Fairtex fighters on there, then as always. So check it out. It's going to be fantastic. It doesn't take too long. They're usually quite fast-paced. And lots of fight bonuses, like the CEO gives the bonus right after the fight. Like once the fight is over, they say like, and Chad Risidjadong Chas awarded you a bonus, and then they celebrate in the ring. Lots of bonuses to be predicted here. That's going to be awesome. So check this out this Friday. And I am not affiliated with One Championship. Open for sponsorships, but I'm not affiliated just yet. So check it out this Friday. It's going to be an insane card. with the main event being crazy, but the co-main event is a sleeper that you should definitely also look forward to, because Kulabdam is gonna just march forward and just throw. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, that's it. Ending on a high note. Let me know your thoughts on a power slap. UFC 26, why don't we know anything about like any stories right now? And are you gonna watch one Friday fights, and what are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments. Shout out at FunkedPod on social media. Like, share, subscribe, rate this podcast, and as always, stay safe, take care, don't forget to keep your guard up. We'll talk soon. Sawadee Krap.